Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another week of the Code for Giants Cup number 20, your bi-weekly dose of Brazilian StarCraft. I'm, of course, your VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to our event. Again, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we are jumping into the first round. We're jumping into the round 16 and spawning in the top right hand corner of Frostline. We have the Brazilian Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Eximius Gaming. It is Shakti. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Brazilian Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Eximius Gaming, as well as their teammates. It is Claw. Here we go, as we are jumping into our first series here. And again, I hope you've all been doing well for yourselves. We were just live last night with the Pigsty Festival qualifier. Again, we did have to postpone our OSC broadcast, but it's all good. It's all good. We'll get to OSC eventually. We'll get there. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much to Chance. Oh my god, while we were loading into the game, while we were getting through the countdown screen, I should say, Chance did subscribe for the first time. Do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Chance, for subscribing. Likewise, welcome and all. I see Baby Links icons as well. Kamikaze, Scroll Fund. Welcome one and all to the stream. Again, every 2 weeks we do host the Code for Giants Cup. Shout out to Cosmos. Cosmos, of course, is the big name behind this tournament. Is kind of like the wardy or the logo of the Brazilian scene, and is putting in a lot of efforts, a lot of initiative as well, to actually bring together these more national events. So these events for Brazil, and also an offline event as well. We'll get there. So we do have Code for the Giants Cup, which is a bi-weekly tournament. We have Amantes to StarCraft, which is a monthly tournament as well, all going to be played out this week. So a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft, a lot of Eric action down the line as well, of course. The Brazilian scene is near and dear to our hearts, as we have Eric on the CranKy Ducklings, and is going to be featured later on tonight, I'm sure. He's on the other side of the brackets, but I have faith that we'll get there. We'll get to Eric eventually. Until then, we're going to be featuring one of the more old school players here in Shakti. Shakti for a long time was actually, I would say, the best Protoss in Latin America. For a long time it was with Shakti and Paco Mike. They were both kind of like vying for that #1 spot. They were both contending for it, and they would trade back and forth for a time, is what I will say. And then Shakti did retire. Shakti did step away from the game, but for years, I will say for years did step away, but recently did come back. Recently did return to us, and I'm here to feature Shakti as best as I can. We've even seen Shakti take down Master as of late, which was crazy, by the way. Master right now is very much so in form, so for Shakti to contest him is impressive. 100%. Until then, we are going to be settling in. So far, standard openers, and we do have a Stargate out of Shakti going for the Oracle, moving out across the map. So far, so good. Also, before I forget, predictions. God damn. Predictions, they by now would have been closed, I'll be honest, but they have been open, so you can place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump on in. Ooh. Oh my god. Again, so far, so good. From here, hatch gas pull into a third base. Standard opener out of Claw. So far, standard stuff. Nothing too crazy out of our Zerg player. Likewise, standard opener out of Shakti as well. We'll keep an eye on any kind of crazy follow-up. Second gateway into a third base. Nothing wild yet. We're just building up, and welcome on to Frostline. And all the Oracle does get across the map. Gets one drone. Oh my god, no! Gets one drone kill, but alas, not worth it here as the Oracle does fall. A brutal loss for Shakti. Does overextend and does not respect the spore enough. Again, it was only one spore and one queen. Did fly too close to the sun. Did get horribly burned without a stronger start for Claw. Claw shuts down the Oracle behind this. He's droning. Safety Roach Warren. Safety Roach Warren into the Evo chamber here from the side of Claw. Saturating his third base. Meanwhile, across map, Claw does try to hit the third. Oh, does slip in. The Adepts are in position, and alas, one Adept will barely survive. Oh my god, close. We'll live, we'll survive. So far, Shakti maintaining himself. And that follow-up is upon us. Blink and +1, no charge. +1 and Blink instead. Likewise, layers on the way for Claw. And getting to this map, something that I was going to mention here is that Frostline is known for aggression, known for being just very difficult to be the defending player here at your third base, at your fourth base. Gaining momentum, gaining map control can be a massive advantage here on Frostline. And we'll see if that's what Claw goes for here. We'll see how aggressive and how assertive he's going to be. For the time being, he pokes in with some lings, but doesn't get too much damage here. Does respect Shakti, does retreat, as he's still droning and building up. And we'll see if this is for a max out on Roach Ravager, or if we intend to go into Hydras. Something that I'm a little bit concerned by here is, there we go, we have +1 range on the way. This looks to be Roach Hydra into Lurker. We'll see if when the layer completes, we invest into that tech, or we commit into Roach Ravager. Our eyes are on the Claw. Oh. Eyes are on Claw here. Oh. As you see, Shakti now moving out. A Blink is not yet done. It's still a ways away, but despite that, pushing out towards that expansion. Roach is on already. Claw, he's been too greedy here. The base is under fire. The base may just be cancelled. That's going to be a massive pickoff. It was about to complete. It was about to finish. Oh, that's going to be a kill. That's going to be a kill, not a cancel. In the expansion, Lings, they move out across the map for a bit of a counterattack, but last back at home, there are Adepts at home. Adepts are in position. Lings going to be cleaned up. They get one probe so far. Stalkers, they rotate. Yeah, just the one probe. Stalkers, they rotate over. Queen under fire. Gets one already. The Roaches have built up, but the damage has been done. At this point, sniping the expansion was all that Shakti needed to do. Deny the fourth. That's all we need, man. That's all we need. Once again, poking in, trading with the army. Let's trade. Taking on more Lings, more reinforcements have arrived. And from here, Shakti, I mean, it's not like he has a proxy gateway or a war prison, but does have an overwhelming force here of Stalkers. Hydras are on the way, but it might just be too late. They're bleeding out so many Roaches. And again, production-wise, Claw just can't keep up, whether it's with production, whether it's with his economy. It's lacking gas income. Yeah, it didn't fully saturate his gases here at the third base. Well, he has minerals but no gas, and he's been broken. He has been broken. Shakti breaks through the defensive line, busts into the natural. Roach is going to be falling. Hydras as well. And he just snowballs out of control. GG gets called. Shakti will take game number 1. GG. Shakti does take a lead in the series. Again, Shakti is favored coming into this, but Claw, of course, he's more of an up-and-coming player in the Brazilian scene, and unfortunately, he was not quite able to, or he was a little bit too greedy. He droned up too hard. He wasn't able to save his fourth. He was not able to save his fourth base. Losing the fourth base was the first domino that fell, and it just crumbled from there on after. Again, Claw losing the fourth base meant that he couldn't really sustain himself. Likewise, he didn't quite take his gases at the third either, not properly. So if you could see, he was trying to make Roaches and Hydras, but he actually couldn't afford them. He was actually out of gas. He had like 1,000 minerals and like 100 gas. So his economy was a little bit lopsided there and couldn't quite sustain himself. And with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. Whew. Shakti does take a lead in the series, and now that leads us into game number 2. Oh, yo, shout out to Turbo Quacker in the chat. The ramen. You're making me celoso, papi, celoso. Ga, papi, ga. I've not had breakfast yet. Not yet. I woke up, got the stream ready, and bam, we're here. Oh, no. We'll be fine, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. As morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Zimis Gaming, leading the series 1-0. The veteran of the Brazilian scene, an ex-retiree, it is Shakti. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the young up and comer, representing Xemius Gaming as well as their teammates. It is Claw. We go. We have our setup, we have our players. And again, when it came to the last game, there was nothing really too crazy about it. Shakti just hitting a very strong move out timing. He even actually hit before Blink and +1, if you remember. So it was a little bit more preemptive. And last Claw was caught with his pants down a little bit there. When it came to that move out, he wasn't quite ready. Remember, he was droning. He didn't have any roaches at the time. He only had a handful of lings, so he just could not defend, could not protect it. Here, I would imagine that Claw's going to be playing a little bit safer, not as greedy, not cutting as many corners, or he could even be aggressive himself. We'll see. We shall see. How assertive do we want to be? Likewise, so they're curious. We only have the one broadcast scheduled today instead of two, and I do plan, and ideally, hopefully, at the time, I'm not too fatigued, to ladder a little bit, after the tournament, after the cast. Very tempted to jump onto the ladder and smurge, papi. Smurge. We'll see. Again, like, I'm still. We'll get there. Still trying to wake up. Still trying to bring myself together. We'll be fine. Squad does move out, taking his third base. Shakti back at home. Tech of choice. Ooh, going for something more aggressive here. Okay, this time not a Stargate. This time Twilight Council. Now, together here. Twilight Council means one of two things. Typically, there are some niche builds. True. There are some niche builds that we have to bear in mind. But for the most part, this should be either a Glaive Adepts or it should be DTs. One or the other. Right now, we pull out. So we pull out of gas. Glaives. It's going to be Glaive Adepts here from Shakti. If he stayed in gas, that would be Dark Templar instead. But only 2 and 2, 4 workers in total should be 4 Gate Glaive Adepts. We could see Shakti pull back in, which would be crazy. Speaking of, does pull an extra worker off of gas. Interesting. You have my attention. If he doesn't pull back in, and if we actually pull another worker out of gas, this could actually be charge. Okay. Glaives here. We do have Glaives. We do have 4 gateways, Robo as well as on the way. Interesting that he pulled out of gas. I believe the worker that he pulled out was the worker that actually threw down all the buildings. There we go. He pulls back in. So that was a bit of a mistake here. That will slow him down a little bit. But regardless of 4 gate Glaives here, this is not an all-in. Remember that. This is not an all-in. This is a way to deal economic damage early on and then take a third base with a lead, with a comfortable advantage. Typically, this forces a roach response, and as a reaction, Shakti should be making immortals after the aggression with his robos, so he has immortals in time to defend after the roach counterattack. It is usually how this dynamic flows. Meanwhile, Claw back at home, he does have some SimCity he's working with. He has some SimCity. He did scouts. Oh, okay, big moment here for Claw. He did scout, did confirm. He does get eyes on the prism as well. He's walling up, and we need roaches as quickly as possible. He's on 2 gases here. He's on just under 2 base saturation, but roaches should be amassing lings alongside them. Oh no, as Claw, he does get in for a counterattack. The wall is not a wall. Lings, they flood into the mineral line, and probes are going to be going down. At the same time, Adepts, they do threaten the shade. Wall is solid. 1 roach gets picked up. And roach is a little bit vulnerable here. But they are massing up. No workers at the third. Was evacuated. Some workers are finally going down. There's going to be 3 probe kills here at the natural. Lings, they slip into the main. They slip into the main base. Rotating over towards the third. So far, catching some roaches, but no major, no economic damage. None whatsoever. Adepts are being targeted. I'm trying to get out of here. They do trade well against the roaches, what I will say. They trade relatively well. Oh, As Chloe still does fully wall off. Nicely done. There is no lair yet, though, which means no roach speed. I'll say lair is the big thing that we're missing. Chloe's banking up 1,000 minerals. Uh-oh. That's a lot of minerals here he's banking up. Could be making lings, but alas, he's focusing on roach production. Yeah, no extra lings, no queens. Adepts, they do break into the main. And what was initially a good defense out of Claw, it's falling apart. It's falling apart here. No, he doesn't pull away. Doesn't pull back. 10 drone kills. Shay's over towards the third base, and yeah, he's being torn apart at this point. The expansion, it's gonna go down. Yeah, massive loss. 15 workers. The expansion. And from here, Shakti can now shade in. I mean, all this could die, and it's still worth it. Still fully worth it if Shakti traded so well. Adepts, they commit. They knock down the front door. They can break through. As they're shading in once again. No. Yeah, the drone's not in position, not in time. Commits to the shade and target down what little is left. Blow down to 20 workers. And again, the initial defense was good, but as we saw, his macro was slipping. He needed to make more lings. Like, lings that don't sound amazing against adepts, but they're a way to keep up with the shades and to lock down the army, to make sure that this doesn't happen, to make sure that we don't shade freely in between the bases. And with that, Shakti has done enough. Behind this, we still got the robot production. There it is, immortals are on the way. Likewise, not just one, we have a second robot and mass immortal in production here for Shakti. He is ready for the roach counterattack. And speaking of, here it comes. Roaches are moving out across the map. Ideally, we need some kind of support here for these immortals. Let's see if we can get there. Some more immortals on the way. One of them is exposed. Where's the support? There it is. Cells have arrived. Likewise, Prism coming in. Oh, the pickup! Oh, can he save it? He can! saves the immortal. Shakti is all over this. Yeah, the juggling is too good. GG, well played. The immortal is immortal. And Shakti will take the series at 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Shakti, he will claim the series, will advance on. Again, he came in as the favorite player, but a shout out to Claw here for competing, for contributing, and again, did have his own moments in this series as well. Again, the initial defense against the Glaivados was good. But the macro was slipping, and that's where experience does come into play, and maybe a little bit flustered. Regardless, Claw was not able to maintain himself after the initial opener, after the initial hitting of the Glaivadeps. With that, GG. GG, well played. Shakti does claim the series, and with that, we'll advance on into the next round. Let's find out where we're headed, where we're going. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look back yourselves. Let's head on over and let's catch up on the bracket. Meanwhile, a shout out to Luciano Papi. Oh my god, big shout out to Luciano in the chat. Good to see you as always. Hope to see you in an up and coming Open Online Cup, as we do cast Luciano whenever we can.